So here I'm with Brittany Michalchuk. She is a world-class coach to CEOs, a social media influencer, real estate guru. She has a lot to teach. But before we talk about what she has to teach, let's talk about her philosophy on life. Yes. And we were talking about like people who settle, people who have like low standards, and why that's very unattractive. If you want to be more attractive, raise your standards, express what you want. So why is a person who doesn't talk about what they want, doesn't know what the standards, but they settle for less? Why is settling, being mediocre, the worst gift in life?
I think it just is, like you said, it's the worst thing possible. I think that too many people have become accustomed to settling because they don't believe in themselves and they don't believe that their goals are possible. So they just settle for what they have. And then it creates this coexistence and it creates a lot of unhappy relationships because people aren't actually going for what they want. They're settling for what they can get.
But like selling for a career, if they're just making like enough money to pay the bills, but they're not really buying the things they want to buy, living the life they want to live, like what's bad about that?
I think that, and this goes back to the root of it, is this lack of passion and motivation. And if you think about all the times you've achieved the best results or reached that finish line in record times, it's when you were motivated, it's when you were passionate. And the biggest question I get is, how do you motivate yourself? How are you so inspired all the time?
Yeah.
Training yourself. Like learning how to train yourself to be motivated. So I have all these different practices that I do. A lot of it stems from my morning routine where I've learned how to cultivate this mindset of even when I'm uninspired or not feeling it, I've learned how to be able to control my mind to be able to get there.
All right, so how do you control your mind like when you're like settling and shit's not working out?
I think that it has to do with mental fortitude and mental toughness. And when you set your mind to creating a strong mindset and you do everything that you need to do to achieve your goals so that you trust yourself, so you build a good relationship with yourself, then it's so much easier to stop settling because you believe in yourself, you believe you're worth it.
Exactly. So if someone has a weak mindset, they're watching like, oh, that reel is really difficult and I have to discipline myself and do things I don't want to do. I don't feel like it, but I want to settle. How do you stop them?
I think it's a matter of, again, that clarity component. Like, what is it that you want in life? And then also almost scaring yourself into being like,
the worst case scenario.
Well, yeah, like what is my life going to look like if I settle for mediocrity? And really understanding how that's not only doing your life a disservice, but every single person around you, all the people you love and care about want to see you succeed. And every time you settle on yourself, you're settling on every single person around you.
Yes. So, Brittany, the deepest question is like 7.5 billion people. Every single person on the planet listens to this message. What is like one sentence you will leave for them to like not let them settle for average life?
Oh, good question.
What's the framework?
The framework is wanting it bad enough. It's like when I just lived life in the motions and the daily activities, I didn't have this fire inside me to create a better life for myself, to really start living my potential. But the second that I wanted it bad enough, so I started cultivating almost this like indestructible cocoon around all the things that I wanted. And then I really started focusing on intensifying that. It's like I wanted it so bad that it runs my days, it runs everything, it runs all my decisions, it keeps me out of trouble, it keeps me working hard because I want it so badly. And I think it's that cultivating why you want it and being able to hold yourself accountable to what you need to do to get it.
Exactly. You set the intention, then all of a sudden you take the actions to make it a reality. That's what it's all about.
It's powerful.
Emotional leverage, powerful. And there's one sentence that will like encapsulate that whole like flow that you just said. Like, what is the one sentence of getting what you want, taking the action, really following through on it?
I think it's holding yourself accountable to a better standard of yourself. I think
Higher
too many
standard, yes.
people look at themselves and they look at society and they look at their friends and they just do a little bit better than them. Or they're okay in one area and so they're comfortable with where they're at. But when you set your standards so high for yourself, it's almost like you create this self-accountability.
Make it a reality.
Yes, exactly. You create this self-accountability that makes it almost impossible for you to give up on yourself because you have too much weighing on it. You want it too bad. Like the core of your being needs to want it so badly
Exactly.
that
Like an emotional
nothing
feeling,
can stop
yes.
you. Yes, exactly.
Cheers to that.
Yes.
Emotional leverage, setting the standard and not settling for anything less than that. Cheers.